The reason India lost at Headingley was because they could not bowl England out on day 5. It's as simple as that, people. Drop catches, okay, fine. Okay, collapses, batting collapses at the back, sure. But do you think that if you put maybe 100 more runs on the board, do you really think that you would have won that match? Because I don't think so. Now add a Kuldeep Yadav into the equation. I kind of like those odds a hell of a lot more. Now, yes, we're at Edgbaston, some shocking decisions in terms of selection, but there's lots to discuss. This is my review of day 1. The biggest shock was obviously Jasprit Bumrah not being picked, okay? I mean, he had a whole week's rest. Everybody said he was fit to play. I'm just going to start off by saying this, actually. Why in the hell would you tell the entire world before a test series, oh, the best bowler in the world, our best player, is only going to play 3 matches? I mean, just from a tactical, logistical standpoint, I do not understand why you would want to give the opposition information as big as that. I mean, I would never in my life tell them, oh, well, you know, Rabada is only going to be playing 2 out of 4 matches. Never, ever, ever. So first of all, I think that was a massive mistake. Second of all, he had a week's rest. I don't understand. Surely you want to level the series here and now, 1-1. You've got Manchester coming up. You know, that's going to be quite a bit of a spinning paradise for spinners. I feel as though you can give yourself a good chance there, even though, you know, I don't think India's record is really good there. Let me know that, guys. Drop me in the comments. I don't think the record is very good there, but I feel like that's an opportunity, that match especially, to leave Bumrah out. Now you have to decide one other match, maybe the last match then, or I don't know. For goodness sake, he had a week's rest. Surely he should be able to play. Now let's go straight to the bowling attack, which I think you already know. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay, again, it's just full of right arm quicks. What this is also telling me now is that if Arshdeep is not going to come in for Bumrah, I don't think he's going to get a chance. I mean, this poor guy is just, again, it's for me, it feels like you're not picking him because of his stats in India. And again, I've said this over and over again. You cannot judge a bowler, an Indian bowler, by their stats in SENA, because you go and look at the bowling scorecards of India versus New Zealand. None of the quicks did really well in India, but yet a lot of them were chosen for the BGT based on what? You just have to look at the characteristics of an Arshdeep Singh. I mentioned to my friend as well, you have Bumrah, who's used to bowling around the wicket, okay, to scuff up those areas for the spinners to come into play. Now you don't really have Bumrah anymore, so who's going to be doing that job? If you had a left arm quick, naturally that is something that could have happened to help the spinners later on. Again, you are bowling. You're bowling last, you know, England is going to chase. The pitch looks flat. Last 4 matches, high scoring in the county comp at Edgbaston. So England are going to fancy their chances. What India should have thought about, and it's ironic to me because this is what Gill said in the press conference. I mean, and now, you know, there's a massive 180 U-turn next morning, I think, 1st July, 2nd July. No, actually, we want to strengthen the batting. You picked an all-rounder in that first match. Okay, Shardul Thakur. For what? For the sake of balance. What ended up happening was that the bowling attack was incompetent because you went for balance. You do not pick an all-rounder for the sake of picking an all-rounder. You really need to try and look at conditions and see, you know, where is this guy gonna contribute for us? Okay, Jadeja, Edgbaston already has a century here in the past. I'm going to stick to my point of what I've been saying. I don't think England have their plans quite sorted, figured out against the lefties of India, and so even the omission of Vasai Sudarshan, you know, that extra lefty at the top for India, it doesn't make sense for me. Number one, it feels unfair. Number two, it feels like there was actually some sort of stability there. Yes, it was only his first match, but you could have seen that, you know, I thought that would have been really good for India to stick with that batting lineup because they scored 741 runs, the top 6. Jadeja has a century here. Why do you want to mess with the batting unit when the real issue, yes, catches, okay, fine, but the real issue was the fact that that bowling attack, I mean, without Bumrah, it would have been a hell of a lot worse. But the bowling attack only took 15 wickets. You cannot win a match by taking 15 wickets. And so if you're not picking Bumrah, surely you need an X-factor kind of character like a Kuldeep Yadav. If Kuldeep played at Headingley, could we have seen a different result? I do think so. I thought everything was laid out to perfection. There was a lot of rough areas there for them. The fast bowlers worked hard for 4 days. Everything was set up perfectly for a spin attack. Now, yes, you go with Washington Sundar, and nothing against him. I think he's a great player, and he really does deserve a spot. And I feel like, he's probably going to be the guy for Jadeja at some point, or maybe an Akshar Patel. Let me know how you feel about that. But I just felt like this was a real moment to play Kuldeep. And in my opinion, it's been dry in England. Kuldeep should be playing every single match. You're kind of waiting till the last minute, to take some risks. Because again, I said in the past, I feel like India are playing very safe. You're not going to win by Bazball people, the English, these batters in these conditions. You're not going to win against them by playing it safe. And it just feels like this bowling attack again. I need to ask, where are the wickets going to come from? The pitch here looks amazing. It's day 1. It's not even day 2 or day 3, and already it looks amazing. Jaiswal is just, he's just an absolute joy to watch, really. I mean, it's not just about flamboyancy. The way that he times a ball, straight bat shots, cover drives, just an absolute treat to watch him. And then you think of Shubman Gill, who, thank God for India, that all of this stuff in the media, because yes, everybody's questioning the selection, because for me it does not make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. But at least he's able to put that to one side and really perform with his bat, because this century here, who knows, it could become very vital. But I'm not a fan. I feel like you're putting in all-rounders for balance, right? But surely the bowling attack is incredibly imbalanced. There's no balance in this bowling attack, absolutely none whatsoever. England also bowled a little bit full at the start, which kind of made it a bit easier there for especially Jaiswal, for India to really get away. I mean, Josh Tongue especially, yes, it's fine, go and look for the swing, but surely after the 3rd or the 4th attempt, maybe just give that up. So I thought that England had India in a stranglehold. They were batting really slowly at the start, India. Actually, I think they were going at 1.5 and over. Carse and Wokes just came back beautifully in this test match. You always knew that he was going to have his time, his moment. It's his home ground. He was unlucky as well. He bowled absolutely beautifully, like how we know Chris Wokes to bowl. Carse, again, he just keeps putting up his hand. He keeps performing, which is very important for England, because when a Jofra Archer, he's got to play at Lord's, right? Jofra Archer has to play at Lord's, and apparently Mark Wood might come in for that final test match. But yeah, the guys, it's not England's full strength bowling attack, but they're doing the job. Like the opening pair there at the start was really good, and then sort of like when Josh Tongue came in, things went a little bit, it unraveled a little bit, if we can use that word in test cricket. But yeah, no, I think England look really solid. My opinion here is that I feel that it's quite even Stevens. Yes, India, they've reached 300, but it's a great pitch. It's an absolute great pitch to bat on. And if England can now use this new ball properly, which no success as of yet, but I feel if they have to get 400, after the first innings, I don't think they'll mind. I feel like they'll feel that that's not the amount that should have been gotten, because like I just said, the pitch is looking like an absolute beaut, like a belter actually, and we're not even a day 2 or day 3 yet. So even Stevens for me after day 1. Let me know what your thoughts were. What do you think of the selection? And yeah, good kind of traditional day of test match cricket.